I am Donika,
And I am Myra, and this is a Black Women Healing Podcast.
a space to discuss mental wellness,
a space to dive into soul care and vulnerability.
Here, we will support you on your journey as you focus on your healing,
while also giving you the work along the way.
Welcome to Black Women Healing Podcast.
Hey y'all, we are back with a new episode of Black Women Healing Podcast, and today it is just me. Donika is away today, and so I have a very special guest named Danielle, and we are going to have a conversation about diabetes. But before we jump in, I want to ask you, Danielle, what has been something that you've been doing or eating or listening to that you are currently loving right now?
One thing I've been eating that I'm currently loving right now is this taco salad. It has me in shambles. Like I put like the lettuce, tomatoes, I put roasted peppers. I'm a pescatarian, but I'm trying to stay away from fish, seafood, but I've been putting some impossible meat in there. And what else? I add some jalapenos, and then I'll mix like the sour cream with the taco seasoning as the dressing.
That sounds
It's so good. I eat it every day. It is healthy. It doesn't affect my sugar. And it tastes it's not your boring salad. It tastes really good.
That sounds bomb. Yeah. Something I've been eating that is so basic and it's like whatever is I love bagels, but I really love the cinnamon flavored bagels. I don't know what it is, but if I could eat that every day, which y'all know once you hit a certain age, it's hard to lose weight. So I can't be eating it every day, but I eat it every other day. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's something about it, like it just cinnamon flavored things just make me happy. So that's what I've been enjoying. Yeah.
What do you put any like cream cheese on it or just the bagel?
I could do I like it lightly toasted. I do a little bit of butter sometimes, but honestly, sometimes I just eat it not even toasted. It's just something about the flavor that I'm so focused on. It just does something for me.
No, I definitely understand. I love me a good bagel too.
Yes. Okay. So before we jump in, I'm going to introduce our guest. So we have Danielle. She is a content creator that creates content about every day while healing diabetes naturally. And she can be found on Instagram and TikTok. And we will share all of the ways to find her in the description of this episode. So to even jump in, Danielle, I want to ask you, can you tell us about how you first learned about having diabetes?
So I first learned about having diabetes, my diagnosis, about 2 years ago. They diagnosed me. You have diabetes from the range of, I believe, 6 or 6.5. I could be lying. I think it's 7 to up. So the ranges of diabetes, it goes by numbers, the A1C. So my A1C was officially 7 about 2 years ago. But diabetes been around my life for so long. My mom had diabetes, my dad have diabetes, my aunt, my grandma, a lot of my aunts, my uncles, and my grandma passed away from complication from diabetes. My dad, my aunts passed away. Uncles, they lost toes, limbs from diabetes, blindness. So it's been around in my family for a long time. So I'm no, stranger for it. Before you turn diabetes, they'll let you, if you go to the doctor regularly and stay up with your checkups, you'll be pre-diabetic. I've been pre-diabetic for years. So it's not like it was like overnight, like this big change, like, oh, now you're diabetic, right? So I've been pre-diabetic ever since I was right now I'm 30. So I could say maybe like 24, 25, I've been pre-diabetic.
Wow. And so I'm hearing you talk about how it's kind of affected your family. In return, when we think about family and connection to them, of course, that would impact your mental health. How do you feel like diabetes has impacted your mental health, considering that this is something that's pretty much impacted like a majority of your people in various different ways, and you're witnessing this?
How it impacted my mental health. I could say later on, because it's been in my life for so long, it's not a drastic change. It started impacting me when my sugar started being high, and it's like I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm trying to do the right things. The difference between healing naturally and healing with medicine is a big difference, because the medicine is like, of course it helped people. And I just disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I don't have all the facts about diabetes. I just know what works for me and seeing within my family. And that's what I'm giving my experience based on. But when you're so used to it being around and then, you get diagnosed, it affects me. I'm trying to eat healthy. And you see that my sugar's still going up. So it's like I ate this meal and it's like, dang, this meal is supposed to be good for me, right? Like, why is my sugar 250 right now? And then my mom was also diabetic, and I hear it from her all the time. And she's like, I'm trying, and it's still up there. And then that makes you want to give up. It's like, forget it. Like, like this is trying every day. Definitely for me, going naturally is the hardest for me. It affects me mentally because every day, every meal is your medicine. There's no, like, with the medicine, and my family used the medicine as a crutch. I seen it. They like, okay, well, I could eat the Snicker right now, and then I'll take the insulin or I'll take the medicine and it'll go back down. But that's not healing your body. You're still affecting your body, and then you're still eating that food, and then you take the medicine and the numbers look low. But what is it actually doing to your body? So every single meal is a challenge because every meal is your medicine.
Wow.
So it affects me in that way.
Yeah, I appreciate you highlighting that because diabetes runs in my family too. On both sides of my family, different types of diabetes run in the family. And I have like a similar experience in that my dad is more so like, I got diabetes and I'm gonna eat whatever I want. What else is gonna happen to me? And I'm looking at him like, are you serious? And
Yeah.
then we got my mom, who on the other hand, drinking soda, eating candy, already overweight. And so it's like I'm already concerned about your weight and how that's impacting you. But then I gotta watch you eat a piece of candy or like eat X, Y, and Z thing, and your excuse being, oh, I gotta get my sugar up. And I'm like, so that's what we're choosing to get our sugar up? Like it doesn't make any sense. And then to watch you then your sugar is up and then you have a burst of energy and then it's like you have a crash and now you want to have coffee. Like it's not making no sense. So like
Yes.
witnessing that is like, oh my gosh, like this is bothersome.
And I think it's definitely worse. I have type 2 diabetes and my family had type 2 diabetes. Not really, I really haven't known anyone to have type 1 diabetes. And recently, I just found out that my boyfriend's nephew have type 1 diabetes, and he is 3. He just turned, I think just turned 3 or 4. And seeing him affects my mental health because like it breaks my heart. This little child, right? He did not do nothing in the world. Like me, it's an effect of diet, right? Type 2 diabetes is effective diet, but this child just came into this world and type 1 diabetes is already affecting him, and he was having a birthday. We was there for Thanksgiving, and he couldn't even have a piece of cake. He's crying. He's a baby. He don't know. Like he just want to eat, and he don't know that it's gonna really like affect his sugar. But then his mom is like, if I give him a little bit, then they said just like that, you're battling the highs and lows. It's like, okay, he's low, you give a piece of candy real quick, then it's high. Now you're battling the high, then you have to give insulin, and the dangerously up and down is super dangerous. So I understand. I think the generational it's the mindset that is passed on from generation to generation. And it's also the eating habits is passed down from generation to generation. If you're
Yeah,
used to eating that what your mom gave you from young, you're gonna cook it for your kid. You're gonna cook it for your kid. So me, I have to try to learn how to break that generational curse. Is like, okay, I can't eat that, even though, dad used to feed that to me, mom used to feed that to me, or this is a tradition. Um, we have to kind of break that generational curse, and it's not easy.
exactly, exactly. So then can you tell us first off the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, just so people have that understanding?
Yes, so type 2 diabetes is something you develop, I want to say, from like bad habit. They say it's generational, it's in, you get it from family members, but I really want to say it's because of bad habit. And I don't know the, correct definition of it. But it's definitely because of your eating, the way you eating. Type 1 diabetes is kind of like autoimmune. Your pancreas stops working on, it's kind of like your pancreas is like paralyzed. It stops working. So it doesn't produce, I think that's what it is. Your pancreas, type 1, your pancreas doesn't produce no insulin. In type 2, your pancreas produce a little bit, but it's kind of like it's on the verge of breaking. So it gives you some, but it doesn't give you enough to sustain your blood sugar levels to be stable.
Okay. Can you share some common myths about the diagnosis, and then like some facts? Maybe if you have like three myths and three facts or whatever.
Okay, so one definitely myth about type 2 diabetes. I can't speak for type 1, but type 2 diabetes is reversible. A lot of people don't know that type 2 diabetes is reversible. I see people on, TikTok. This lady was freaking out like, oh, I just got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And it's like, miss, this is actually the best time for you to reverse it. The best time to reverse it is when you first get diagnosed with it. Of course, if you've been, at the doctor regularly and this is something new on, not if you haven't been to the doctor in 10 years and now this is a new thing, right? Because you might be well behind. But it is definitely reversible, and the best time is when you first get diagnosed. Another myth is that you cannot eat fruits. That is not true. You can eat fruits. Being a diabetic, it's different sugar in candy than it is in natural fruits. Trying to think of one. Sorry, another one.
No, I think those are really good. We don't even have to add more. I think those are really good ones that most people would not know. It being reversible and you can eat fruit. I'd never heard those before. And I think those also kind of count as facts too, if we're
Yes.
really thinking about it. Yeah, those are definitely some facts too. I want to transition and ask you as far as resources slash supports for you. What have you found to be helpful? Because I'm hearing a lot about this diet part. And so I'm even wondering for you, like, are you creating these recipes? Where are you finding them at? Tell me about that.
So big for me is like YouTube and TikTok is a big help. Even Instagram is a big help. I think for me, jump starting, I found out about the alkaline diet. Her YouTube name and I think Instagram name is Estelle Archer. I found about her. She started doing the alkaline diet because she was healing herself naturally from HIV. Yeah, so I found out about the alkaline diet from her, and she had this little kickstart of the alkaline diet, and it's like, listen, I desperately need something. And I realized when I did the alkaline diet, every meal that I ate, my sugar was beautiful. Like it was, the numbers was there. So that was a big help. And after seeing that, really when you're healing naturally, it's kind of like trial and error. I mean, anything is trial and error, right? That's why they do trials even with regular medicine. For me, I am my biggest test. The great thing I learned too is to always test your sugar. Testing your sugar is so important because really when you have diabetes, if you don't see no numbers, it's out of sight, out of mind. So I got like a Dexcom. I fought for it, and I found out about the Dexcom on TikTok. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know that it was even a thing. It was like, okay, I just always have to poke my finger every day. And I wasn't poking my finger every day. And a lot of diabetics go and don't poke their finger every day because it's a hassle. You don't want to, it's a hassle to poke it before every meal, to check it after every meal. So the Dexcom stays in my arm for 10 days and it tells me on my phone what my blood sugar is in real time. So that has helped me tremendously be able to, maybe I'll see if going about my day, I would just eat something, not think about it. Right. It's like, I don't want to poke my finger. That's a lot of work. I got to go get the tester. What if I don't have the tester, whatever? I'll look at my Dexcom on my phone and I'll look at my sugar and let's say it's high. It's like, okay, well, I can't eat right now. Or maybe I'll wait 30 minutes until I eat. Like maybe I was going to eat a heavy carb meal. Maybe not. Let me not eat something. So those resources definitely help me.
Wow. I've never heard of the Dexcom. So even hearing about you sharing that is like news to me. Um, I'm really enjoying this conversation because I feel like it's so many things and like layers to it that people just don't like talk about. And so can you tell about like your journey with starting to just talk about your experience with diabetes? Like what prompted you to do that? Where can people find you? What are some of the things that you typically post about?
Yeah, so mostly I am posting on TikTok right now. They can find me at Danielle, DanielleCavv, as in Victor, Danielle Caav. And I just saw other people post about it, but I didn't see no one posting about it naturally. And I haven't took Tylenol in years. Like I just don't like taking like conventional medicine. And if I can heal it naturally, I can. But I think my biggest kick to do it naturally is because what I seen with my family. Like my aunt recently just passed away from diabetes. She lost her toes, her legs, she went blind in one eye, and then eventually she passed away. My dad also, he just passed away from diabetes 2 years ago. So for me, it was like I see what the medicine do. I see that it's like, okay, we can eat whatever we want, and then let me just take the medicine and it'll be better. So I had to get out of that mindset and really just trial and error. Like I'll eat a meal, look at my sugar and be like, okay, I can eat this and I can't eat this. Like this worked for me, this works. And knowing that just because it works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Everybody body is different. So I always be like, you are your biggest, advocate. You know your body, test, right? Try to eat this meal, test your sugar. Does it work for you? Put that on the okay, it worked for me list. It don't work for you. Don't eat that often. So that's is literally like trial and error. And right now I'm starting to get into like herbs. Right now I'm starting with berberine. I'm not sure if it's really helping or not, but I've been taking it. But my sugar has been doing okay. But the biggest thing with type 2 diabetes is diet. The biggest thing is definitely diet. And it's crazy because sometimes I looked on the diabetes association before and they have like bacon and like yeah, right, like if we
Questionable.
get
Okay.
yeah, if we get into them, the biggest two, I'll watch What the Health, maybe like 8 years ago. I watched What the Health, and they unpacked some things also on there. And from there, I went vegan for a while, and then pescatarian, and I dibble and dabble between. But now I'm back pescatarian. But seeing things like that and really trying to go the natural route has definitely helped me with my journey, and it's not over. It's always, sometimes I get it down and then it's hard to stay consistent because my medicine is at every meal and every meal is hard. So
Yes, yes. Okay. I love that. As we kind of wrap up, do you have any takeaways for our listeners?
yes, definitely a takeaway is you are your biggest advocate. I know what the doctor is telling you, but you know your body, you are your biggest advocate. um Definitely test, out of sight, out of mind. Please test your diabetes. Don't be scared if you think you have diabetes. If you feel yourself peeing all the time, sleepy, after people say, you get the itis after you eat. But if you notice you're eating meals and falling asleep right after, that is a big sign with diabetes. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, happen to pee, or always happen to use the bathroom, those are signs of feeling dehydrated in the mouth, always have to drink water. Those are signs. And don't be scared to go to the doctor. Like my sister was like, I'm so scared to check my sugar because I don't know what it is. The better you know, the more you can take care of, because you don't want it to be so late. Get regularly check up, go to the doctor, go to the dentist, regularly check yourself up, and regularly check your sugar. And advocate if you know that a Dexcom is going to help you. It's expensive. Insurance companies don't like to pay for it, but advocate for yourself. It took me 6 months of fighting with my insurance company to get my Dexcom, but literally it's been life changing, because if I don't know my sugar on a regular basis and I'm not going to check, out of sight, out of mind. Like if I don't check, I don't have diabetes. And we know underlying I do. So those are things. And just test. It's a big trial. Whatever works for you, works for you, but you're your biggest advocate.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today, Danielle. I feel like, again,
Thank
These are all things that people are not thinking of. It probably is not crossing their mind. So it's important to have these conversations, especially within the Black community, because we are highly
Yes.
affected by it.
No, yes, definitely. And thank you for having me. Oh, and also I have to reiterate too that I forgot. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Don't let nobody tell you it's a life sentence, that you're going to have it forever. It is reversible. But be wary, because if you stop eating healthy and you start picking up back them foods, it will come back.
Yeah.
So definitely a healthy diet, a healthy life change is the perfect way to move.
Yes. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Black Women Healing Podcast. Some homework I got for y'all. Be sure to stay on top of your diabetes if you have it, but also be mindful of what the symptoms are to see if you need to get checked. All right, y'all. Have a great week.